Hi, my lovelies, and welcome back to my video. I am Miss Teacher, and today's video is going to be on teaching a 3-hour long class. Now, this class is specifically for teaching classes that last for 3 hours straight. If you do get a break, I suggest you ask for a break so you can have like at least a 10-minute break from teaching for 3 hours straight. But if your school says no, then this is how you're going to be able to teach your class for 3 hours straight. So 3 hours turns out to be 180 minutes. I have broken down these minutes into different sections of the class. You can change these minutes throughout this lesson to however it fits you in your class. If your class struggles in an area more, you will want to spend more time in that area. If your class understands the area faster, you will want to spend less time. If your class is having fun in one area, you will want to spend a little bit more time. Whatever you do, just don't go over your 3 hours. And I'm pretty sure if you follow these instructions, you will not go over 3 hours. You also don't want to teach under 3 hours. That's a nightmare. I have taught 3 hours when I worked in a public school for winter and summer camp, and also for my after school class. I had to teach all the classes together in each section, and I had to teach them for 3 hours long. So during the after school lesson, I was not allowed to have a break, but if the kids wanted to go to the bathroom, I did not tell them no. I was like, go. For winter and summer camp, I did ask for a 10-minute break and was given. So this is how you will break down your classes into minutes. So the first thing you want to do is spend at least 10 minutes on your greeting. Now, a lot of people will be like, don't spend 10 minutes on your greeting. That is too long. This is a 3-hour class. Spend 10 minutes on your greeting, okay? So what you're going to want to do is you're going to ask them how they are individually. If they don't really talk or they give you short answers, say, why are you good? Why are you bad? If they be like, I don't know, be like, why you don't know? Uh, I know my feelings. Why you don't know your feelings? Why? Why you do not know? Why? Get silly with them, get them speaking, get them motivated, get them talking. You want them to do this. You have 3 hours together. So you want to also introduce them into what they will be learning about that day. So this is a great time to introduce them to any instructions that they need to pay close attention to, or whatever. What I did for one of my summer camps was that I know a lot of kids like traveling and they want to visit other places. They want to go to America. They want to go to the UK or Australia. No matter where you're from, you can do a lesson like this. So what I did was I was like, hey, you guys, we're going to go on an adventure. We're going to go to America. We're going to visit some great major places in America since I'm from America. So what I did was I went and printed out little uh airport tickets, plane tickets, actual plane tickets. You could print them out on Google. I print them out, put their names on it, and you want to give it to them the day before. So tell them this is your ticket to go on the adventure, so do not forget it tomorrow. If they do forget it, say, oh, I have extra. Just have extra, because they're going to forget it. But if they don't forget it and they give you your ticket, act like they're at the airport, take their ticket, stamp it or whatever, to tell them where they're going to sit. Or if you want them to sit wherever, have them sit wherever. Give them, like, if you can get it, have like little pillows or little activities already on their desk, like have their worksheets and everything already passed out and neatly put in a like nice cool order on their desk. If you want to go as far as having like a little mini video of a plane taking off and landing, have that little intro going on. Be as creative and adventurous as you want to be. You have 10 minutes. Don't rush. Okay, so once you get that out of the way, you want to ask them, where do you think we're going to go today? They'll be like, oh, America. But where in America? Give them guess. Say, this is a big place. It's a city. A lot of people know it. It starts with an NYC, New York City, the Statue of Liberty, or whatever. So you want to do that. So after you go through your greeting, you want to introduce your vocabulary words. So you want to spend 10 minutes on them. on this. So I already have a video on how to teach vocabulary. You could go in that video and look at it. But here's just a rundown on what you want to do. You want to go through your vocabulary at least 4 or 5 times. 4 or 5 times. The first time you're going to go through each word together. The second time you're going to go through it all fast. You know how you just say it all fast as you're popping them up to quickly get their minds going. The third time you're going to go through them slowly. You know, I taught you how to do that. The fourth time you're going to call on a student one by one and ask them what this vocabulary word is. What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? And get them, answering you that way, okay? With your older kids, the second time you go through the vocabulary, you should practice spelling. And the third time you go through your vocabulary, you want to practice reading. So with your older kids, you want to do something a little bit different, and I also have a video on how to teach that. So go check that out. After you spend 10 minutes, no less, you have 3 hours, on vocabulary. If you want to spend more, if you want to go a fifth time and just go through it all together once again, you can. Whatever you want to do, this is your class. After you go through your vocabulary, you want to hit your vocabulary worksheets. Now, this time you do want to spend 15 minutes on this. You don't want to go less than 15 minutes because you want to make sure that your students understand the vocabulary. Now, you can have little stick outs where they get the stickers and stick the pictures on the right words, if you can do stickers. So you have the word written on the paper, and they'll take the vocabulary picture sticker and stick it on the word, and then write the word one time underneath that. You can do that if you make a worksheet like that, or find a worksheet with the stickers on it. If you want to do the worksheets where you take a letter away and they have to write the letters, then do that. If you want to do a worksheet where they write in the vocabulary 3 times each, you have to find the word in the word box, you can do that. You need to spend 15 minutes on it. So tell them not to rush. If they rush through it and they have sloppy handwriting, make them write it again. Say, oh, pretty handwriting, again, 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 please. Pretty handwriting, okay? You want to have your students complete this vocabulary activity first. They could do a coloring sheet or something fun, like a crossword puzzle or word search puzzle, anything that you want them to do that has only the vocabulary, not the phrase, only dealing with the vocabulary. Right now, you want them to get used to knowing the vocabulary. And you want to have a good size vocabulary because, once again, you're here for 3 hours. So have something fun for them to do. Don't make this worksheet boring because writing the phrase will be boring. So you want these activities to be fun. So make it something like a word puzzle, crossword puzzle, something fun, okay? Something like the stickers or whatever you can come up with, a coloring sheet, whatever. Make it fun. You can have it where they're looking for the actual words in a picture search. You know how the picture is junky for your older students. You can have this have a picture and it's a room full of a bunch of junk, and then have them search for the stuff, have the words they need to find, and then they search for the actual picture of the vocabulary. Whatever you want to do right here, be creative, but make sure it's fun, okay? You want them to enjoy this 3-hour class, and you need to make this last 15 minutes, so you want it to be fun. Then you're going to take 10 minutes to learn the lesson, okay? This is your main lesson. You're going to have the students first with your main lesson. You want to have practice them reading the question and then answering the main question together as a class. Then you're going to call on them one by one to answer the question. And once everyone has answered, you're going to turn off the words and practice speaking without reading. I suggest you have 1 main phrase and then 2 additional phrases after this. Now, this is what I mean when I say this. This is what I mean. For my job, we have 3 phrases that the kids have to learn in one day. These phrases are closely related to each other. Very little are these phrases not related to each other. So first thing I do is I have the students read, "What does Daddy do?" Okay? If it's my little ones, I will read it first and say, "What does Daddy do?" And then I'll have the students read it after me. "What does Daddy do?" Then I'll read it again, "Daddy bills." Then have my little ones read, "Daddy bills." This is also the time that you want to spend learning key phrases to help them remember the sentence. So I would say, does question, does Daddy bills? Daddy build? No. Daddy bills? Yes. Okay, so you want to show them S, same. Okay, so what I do is I turn off the answer, and then I'll say, hey, everybody, what does Daddy do? And everybody say, Daddy paints. They're reading paints. What does Daddy do? Daddy reads. And we'll go through all the vocabulary together. Once we go through all the vocabulary together of all three. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. So sorry, I did not mean to turn my camera off. So sorry. What you want to do is after they go through reading the question and the answer, and we go through all the vocabulary, I will go to the next one and we will do the same thing. We'll read, what does mommy do? Mommy swims. I'll remind them, S, same, does question. Mommy swims. Turn off the answer. What does mommy do? Mommy runs. We'll go through all of them as a class, and then I'll call on them one by one to answer each one, and then we'll go on to the third one and we will do the same exact thing. Now notice, what do you do? I build. Just letting the students know that you do not say I builds. I build. Do. No S. No S. Same. Build, I build. And we'll do the exact same thing, go through all of them together, then one by one. Once we have gone through all three of them, I will turn everything off, and then we will play like rock, paper, scissors, musical chairs, or something. And then each kid will get to speak on all three. So for my class, because my classes are an hour long with my little ones, it's not a 3 hour long now in my new job. Well, I'm working at a private academy. So what I do is I make sure each kid gets to speak at least one picture per word. So I'll say, little Jimmy, you ready? If he loses, I'll say, little Jimmy, little Tommy, rock, paper, scissors. They'll do rock, paper, scissors. If little Jimmy loses, I'll say, little Jimmy, you ready? All right.
What do you do?
Okay, I build. Great. Everybody. I read. Everybody has to copy the answer. Then, I'll say, okay, little Jimmy, little Tommy, you do it. Jimmy loses again. He got to answer the question again. Then I'll say, everybody, mommy runs. Mommy runs. Okay. And then if he gets to the third one, I'll say, okay, little Jimmy, what does Daddy do? Daddy paints. Okay, everybody, Daddy paints. Daddy paints. Little Jimmy, that's 3. You're out. And I'll keep going until there's no more students left. And the last student to win rock, paper, scissors and has spoken last is the winner. You could give them a prize. If not, just go, you win. Because that's why I go, you win. I don't give them a prize for winning. So we go through all of these 3, and I just mark off which student loses and has spoken all 3 times. You could do something similar to that, or you could do musical chairs. And with musical chairs, when they're out, they have to answer the question. You can say the question, or if you have a way where the computer can play the question, have the computer play it, and then they answer, and then everybody has to repeat the answer. That's the most important part. I have read and researched that it sticks better when they replay the answer. It sticks in their brains better. So you want them to say the answer again as a whole class. So that is what I mean by doing your main activity like that. Okay? So you will want to do your main activity like that. So going back to the lesson plan right here. Let's see if my computer is going to act correctly. Oh, it did. Okay, so once everybody has read, you turn it off. I told you that. I suggest that you have one main phrase and then 2 additional phrases that they will follow. Okay, so after you spend 10 minutes doing that, then you're going to spend 40 minutes on your main lesson game. So, the game I told you after you do the reading, that is what you're going to spend 40 minutes on. So you can either, let me see, can I move my face a bit? So you can do the rock, paper, scissors game. I don't recommend you do that because it's going to be kind of hard to spend 40 minutes doing that. I don't even spend 40 minutes doing that. You could do pass the ball or pass the eraser. I did that one time where I was singing, and when I stopped singing, whoever was holding the eraser, we didn't have a ball, had to answer the question. Then everybody had to answer the question as a whole. You could do musical chairs. You could do freeze dance. I did freeze dance before. You can play music. They're dancing, and when you stop the music, whoever moves, they're out. They have to say the question, everybody repeats the answer, and then that person has to sit down. They're out. You could do the ping pong game. Now the ping pong game is it's a fun game. But it does require ping pongs, and it does require plastic cups. So what you do is that you just have it where you put two tables together and have the vocabulary words and the phrases written on plastic cups, and the kids would spend time bouncing the ping pong balls from the table on into the cup. So they'll bounce it from the table into the cup. It's like that carnival game where you're trying to get the ping pong ball into a fish, but you're not throwing it straight into there. They're bouncing it off the table. That makes it safer. And whichever cup they get it into, they have to say the phrase with that vocabulary, or they have to answer the question or whatever, however it goes with what's on the cup. And if they miss, they have to grab their nose and turn in a circle 3 times. So they try not to miss, because turning in a circle 3 times will make you dizzy. You also can play multiple games in one section. You want this to last 40 minutes. You don't want this main lesson game to last less than 40 minutes. Unless you have if you do 20 minutes here, and then later on down the line you do like a long review and you do 30 minutes on that, that's fine. But here, if you don't do that, I recommend no less than 40. So you could do multiple games. If you see they're getting tired of rock paper scissors, or they play that pretty fast, then pick something that's going to last a bit longer, like passing the ball. And you could do it roughly, like make sure each kid gets to speak each 3 phrases. And if they don't get it correctly, do not give them the answer. Just repeat the question slowly and emphasize key words like what did he do, to let them know they need to respond in past tense, or what does mommy do, letting them know they need to add s to the end of whatever activity that is the vocabulary. Don't give them the answer. That also wastes time, but it also trains your kids to use their brains. You're not going to be there when they need to speak. So they need to learn this, and that's a good way to let them use their brain and not depend on you to give them the answer. Don't give them the answer, no matter how long it takes. You have 3 hours. Don't give them the answer. And if they get quiet and start speaking, don't stop. Don't give them the answer. Be adamant. Say, okay, little Jimmy, come on, come on. Mommy, what? Mommy, what? What's this? However you need to get them to speak, get them to speak. You have 3 hours together. So after you finish learning the main phrase, you want to spend 15 minutes on your phrase worksheet. Now this is where it's going to get boring, so it is okay that it's not a color worksheet or whatever. You're going to have your students write the phrase using the different vocabulary, taking away the letters. I have a video on how to do this, so if you go to that video, it will tell you how to do this. I'm not going to go through it here. Then you're going to let the students, try to do the worksheet on their own. Don't give them answers. Teach them. Don't give it to them. If you give them the answers, they're not going to learn. If you teach them, they will learn. Don't give them the answers. Tell them if they have the answers written down somewhere, tell them to cover the answers and try on their own. If they be like, I don't know, say try. Try. They'll learn what try is. Try. Do it. Don't leave anything blank. You have 3 hours together. Walk around the classroom, make sure they're all doing the activity and they're doing it correctly. Give them hints to help them, but don't give them the answer. You have 3 hours together. Don't give them the answer. This is waste time, and it teaches them. So after everybody's finished, you want to check it together. Have them have their little own red pens, or a blue pen, or a pink pen, some other color pen, okay? You're gonna have one student the read the phrase, and then you're gonna be like, "What's this?" Too, and they need to spell it. So look at that video where I walk you through this, and the video will tell you how to teach them. For the older students, you want to have them with this worksheet, you want them to be answering the question. So they're not going to be filling in missing words, they're just going to be answering the question. So also go to that video on how to teach worksheets for this part. After they do the worksheets, you want to practice reading, okay? So I have a video on teaching reading practice too. So you want to teach reading practice now, and you're going to have the students practice reading a passage that is related to the phrase. If you got to make it up, make it up. But it needs to be a long passage, not too long for the little ones, but like more than 10 sentences, like 10 sentences is good. 10 short phrase sentences good. Have them practice reading together, then having them practice reading one by one, and then have them practice reading the same phrase to their partners. Then walk around and have each of them read it to you one more time. You want to spend more than 20 minutes on this activity. You have 3 hours together. By now you should know what that means. Waste time. Okay, so then you're gonna, after that, if your time is not up and you still have time in class, after doing all that, you have to spend 20 minutes on phonics. Okay, for your younger students, you're gonna go straight to phonics. I have a video on how to teach phonics, so you're gonna go into that. For your older students, you're gonna want to pull up a picture, and you're gonna want to discuss that picture, and you're going to want them to get them to talking. So you're going to use this as a free speech time. This is going to be a free speech time for them. So you could go on Google and pull up any picture. Type in picture of a girl, picture of kids kicking a ball, picture of kids playing, picture of a messy classroom, a messy room. Go to Google, click images, type in that, pull it up, and ask each kid one at a time, what do you see? What do you think is happening? Why do you think this is happening? Why do you have that idea? Where are they going? Why are they going there? Question them up. Be a 3-year-old, okay? Be a 3-year-old. Ask why a million times. Question them up. Get them talking. And as they're talking, if they use English incorrectly, if they speak in present tense, remind them to speak in past tense. Just get them talking and correct their English as they're talking, and then have them restate that phrase again so their mouths can get used to speaking correctly. This is time for them to speak freely and to speak correctly in English. This does not have to be related to the lesson. This is getting them to speak correctly and freely in English because they don't do that at all. Next, after that, if you still have time after that, you're going to have a writing activity. You're going to spend 30 minutes on this writing activity. This writing activity is basically them writing freely a paragraph, which means 5 or more sentences, about what y'all just discussed in the picture. So they can rewrite what they just said again in 5 or more sentences on a blank sheet of paper. For your younger students, you're gonna want to play the alphabet songs here. You could go to Grace's Corner and you could do ABC Mouse on YouTube. These songs last about 10 minutes. ABC Mouse has a full alphabet song, and then it has a song for each alphabet, and they're 5 minutes long. If you want to play them all, you can play them all. You can also play the color song on abcmouse.com, and you can be like, oh, this is practicing listening. It's wasting time. You can be like, oh, this is listening practice. So they can get used to listening to English being spoken fast and in different ways. If your principal, somebody says no, they don't need to watch movies. Say, well, these are like not movies, these are educational videos to help them get used to listening to English spoken in a fast pace, and to get used to having it spoken in different ways. You have people who have different accents, and you want your kids to get used to different accents other than yours, and you don't want them to have to wait 1 or 2 years in order to experience this. So this listening activity helps them pay attention, it helps work on their listening skills, and it just is a great activity. It's a must have activity. Spit like that so you can keep this activity to waste time. Also, if you want to have like a little mini quiz to test their listening after these videos, you can. Now let me show you what videos I am talking about. So what videos I am talking about is, this is Grace's Corner right here. This is 5 minutes long, and this ABC phonics song is 3 minutes long. You could play both of them, or you could play one of them if you have time, and have them sing and clap and listen to the song as they go through. They might, the first time they might not sing, they might just sit and listen. I play this song so much for my little ones that now they sing it, they sing along with it. That's how much I play it, and my classes are not even 3 hours anymore. For here, you, if you want to play a video, if you're like doing the traveling activity and be like, oh, we're going to America, we're going to the Statue of Liberty. This is 11 minutes long. 11 minutes and 30 seconds long. You can play this little video at the end of class and waste 11 minutes. There's one on the Golden Gate Bridge. There's one on the Great Wall of China. There's different ones right here, and all you have to do, and there's free, all you have to do is type in abcmouse.com or ABC Mouse in YouTube, and this channel will literally, just click on the channel and this will literally pop up. And I use this so much. And you can just find any of these. That's 17 minutes. Practice listening, be like, oh, they're practicing listening, 17 minutes on practicing listening. And you also, to make it seem like you're at, this is a listening activity, you can have like a little mini quiz after it, and have them do a writing activity and be like, write in 5 sentences what you just learned from the video. Okay, so like, be creative with it. You can be creative with it. Just, you have 3 hours with these kids. Google is your friend, okay? Trust me, he's your friend. You want to spend the last 10 minutes, if you follow my time on this correctly, you'll have 10 minutes left, and you want to use this playing one of your main games that you played before. To review, you want to try to keep things the same. If they seem to be bored with it, you can form a new game, but that doesn't have any complicated instructions, and you can explain that to your kids if it's something really fast, because you remember you have 10 minutes left, so you don't want to spend too much time explaining how to play the game. So you want to keep it one of your main games before, or something easy to explain that they can do to review the phrase real quick, and then tell them to pack up and get out. And that, my friend, is how you teach a 3-hour long class. Yes, yes. So I will stress, and I cannot stress this enough, utilize the internet because it is your friend. Be as creative as you can with this. Get your creative side out of it. Talk to your students, get them talking. If they're a quiet class, ask a bunch of questions. Don't stop asking questions. If they're short with their answers, keep asking questions until they give you a long answer. Then take that long answer and then ask a question out of it. Be a 3-year-old. Be a 3-year-old. Be a nosy 3-year-old. Get your students talking. You want them to get talking because it wastes time. I hope this has been a blessing to you. If it has not, I'm sorry. If you want me to do a video on something else, like how to teach a shorter class or how to teach multiple kids in one class or whatever, please comment below and I will post that later. And as always, stay blessed. Goodbye, my lovelies.